wide. Through the deep blue underneath the ocean, we'll control the ocean wide. From down, down underneath the sea.
I'm Rear Admiral Thomas M. Dykers, retired. In the watery jungle of naval warfare, the natural enemy of the submarine is the destroyer. Slim, fast, and highly maneuverable, the destroyer was long considered to be too deadly an opponent for the undersea boat to tackle. This doctrine was rewritten during the Pacific War, and leading the way was the USS Harder. On one patrol alone, her fifth, the Harder torpedoed 5 enemy destroyers in 6 days. One of Harder's most dramatic exploits had nothing to do with destroyers. In 1944, she performed a daring rescue operation under fire off Woleai Island that won the admiration of the entire submarine service. The story of the Harder is also the story of her commander, Samuel David Dealey of Dallas, Texas. In her short career, the Harder had only one captain, and Sam Dealey commanded only one boat, the Harder. In Navy parlance, Sam Dealey was a plank owner. The Harder's first action took place not in the Pacific, but in the Caribbean while en route to Pearl Harbor via the Panama Canal. It was one of those unfortunate accidents of war, but Sam Dealey was a long time in forgetting it.
Aircraft bearing 270, position angle 30 degrees. The plane is a PBY.
Probably a patrol bomber out of St. Thomas.
Still coming in. It looks like it means business.
Just having a look at our colors. We're well within our safety zone. Give them the recognition signal. They told me an all this lap looks like machine gun fire from the plane. Fire the emergency flare.
All right, lookouts below. Clear the bridge. Dive! Full rudder.
I'd like to hose that guy down with a deck gun. Those PBYs only carry 2 bombs. Stand by for number 2.
Suppose this is known as a baptism of fire.
Well, there's a war on. But I wish those pilots would learn which side they're on.
On June 7th, 1943, the Harder backed away from Pier 4 at the submarine base at Pearl Harbor and headed for Japan. In the next 6 months, the Harder completed 3 patrols, during which she operated close to the coast of Honshu, the largest of the Japanese home islands. She sank many thousands of tons of enemy shipping. Captain Dealey was awarded 2 Navy Crosses and recommended for a 3rd. He was still not satisfied. He wanted a destroyer.
During these 3 patrols, we've learned a lot and we've developed some new ideas. But there's one theory we still have to prove. I say a sub is more than a match for a destroyer, if the circumstances are right.
According to the book, Captain, the only way to fight a destroyer is to run and hide.
No, not in my book. Sure, they're fast and they're dangerous, but they won't float with a hole in the bottom.
What are you going to hit them with, Captain?
A torpedo, blast it! Oh, and maybe we will. The next patrol. We're ordered back to the States for repairs.
On December 5th, the Harder headed for Mare Island to receive new engines and a major overhaul. This welcome relief was tempered by an order from Admiral King that submarines were to avoid contact with enemy destroyers. It was felt that any engagement with the anti-submarine vessels would result in the waste of torpedoes. To say Sam Dealey was disappointed is to put it mildly. Upon arrival in San Francisco, Frank Lynch took over as executive officer.
Come on, boy, I've got it. All you gotta do is get her aboard and get her working.
Sure, but what is it?
Well, take a look, man. And 200 records to go with her. How about that?
Mr. Lynch, we got troubles.
Let's hear it.
There isn't a hatch on the whole boat big enough.
What?
For that juke. She's sitting up on deck, pretty as a picture, but we can't get her in.
You take her apart and bring her down piece by piece. We're gonna have music on this boat.
Aye, aye, sir.
What's going on here?
It's a jukebox, Captain. Mr. Lynch lined it up.
Well, maybe it'll come in handy. We can't sink destroyers. We can scare them away.
In the early months of 1944, the Navy's carrier task forces were really bringing their tremendous power to bear. This time, Palau, Yap, and Woleai were in for a pasting by the 5th Fleet. The submarine force would have its part.
We've severed physical contact with shore activity, so let's see where we're going.
Where are we going, Captain?
No place. We're assigned to lifeguard duty off Woleai Island. The ocean's full of juicy targets, and we have to stand by to fish pilots out of the drink.
Some good boys flying those planes.
Yeah, I know. When will we get there?
If we hold our present speed, we should arrive there on the morning of March 29th.
Well, that gives us roughly 11 days. The strike is scheduled for April 1st. April Fool's Day.
Anytime you want an opinion of flyers, just ask the old man.
For the report. Conducted periscope search off Woleai from a distance of half a mile from lagoon entrance. No shipping in lagoon. Several construction jobs in progress on island. East-west airstrip. Heavy concentration of anti-aircraft guns. Encode that for Pearl and send it off.
Aye, aye, sir.
On the morning of April the 1st, the air attack on Woleai went off on schedule.
Captain, we've established voice communication with the flight leader.
Give him my position.
Aye, sir.
Like 100 Cleveland air shows.
There's nothing left alive when this is over.
Still AA fire.
Fighter plane hit. Going down in flames. Stand by. He's out. The pilot shoot it out.
Get his position.
Captain, we got a Zumi. Bailed out, drifting toward the northeast corner of the island.
All ahead full, right full rudder.
Frank, give the helmsman a course. There's a reef 500 yards offshore. Up to there, we've got 20 fathoms or better. Break out a rubber boat.
Aye, aye, sir.
If he can stay alive until we reach him, we've got a good chance of picking him up. If the Jap planes don't force us under. But they'll have other problems to worry about, I hope.
Plane circling broad on the starboard bow.
You must be able to pilot. Right 5 degrees rudder.
Right, 5 degrees rudder.
Captain, we broke out the rubber boat. We don't have a single paddle on board.
And we'll have to come alongside and pull him out by hand.
Hello, Lifeguard 1. This is Lily Bell. Pilot has reached shore. We'll zoom him to show position.
Captain, Zoomies on the beach.
We spotted him. Station the rescue party. Flutter down to 23 feet on the gauge. I'm going in as close as I can get to the reef. All ahead, 1/3.
All ahead, 1/3.
The Harder inched in towards the submerged reef. White water was breaking over the shoals only 20 yards in front of the ship. Captain Dealey had flooded down in anticipation of going aground. He knew that by blowing all tanks later, the lightened ship would float free of the reef.
Give me another fathometer reading.
Fathometer has ceased to record, Captain.
All stop.
Captain, planes advise rescue looks too difficult from here.
It does.
A better approach might be made farther north.
Very well. All back 2/3.
All back 2/3.
Wait! Don't go all swim out! Come back!
The poor devil thinks we're deserting him.
Wait!
The Harder was advised by the planes directing the rescue operation of the downed pilot that further air reconnaissance showed the original approach to the beach was the best after all. Sam Dealey reversed course and headed back at full speed.
0 fathoms. Bottom scraping forward.
Clouds on the reef. All back 2/3.
All back 2/3.
If we keep her from swinging side onto the reef, we might get away with this. All stop.
All stop.
We've got a rubber boat and no paddle. The best we can do is have somebody swim it in with a line attached. I want 2 volunteers. I have to warn you, if enemy planes show up, we have no choice but to pull out. We'll be stranded here along with our zoomie. Now, are there any volunteers? Lieutenant Logan will be in charge of the rescue operation. Take 2 men and stand by.
Aye, aye, sir.
Opposite. Brian, let's go.
Heave it over.
Is banging up and down with every wave. That reef is going to chew our bow right off.
Softest spot I could find, Frank.
Captain, the plane's report a float plane will attempt to rescue. Request you stand by in case he can't make it.
Tell him we'll proceed with our own rescue efforts.
Hamilton, you remain with the boat. Ryan, you come with me.
Drifting further out all the time, sir.
I know. How are your feet?
Got the top tenaze, I think. That coral's like razor white.
Well, swim as much as you can.
Swim, he says.
divers on the beach. Request covering fire from planes.
Aye, sir. Down, I guess. He doesn't seem to be hurt.
They've got him in the boat. Haul him in.
All away!
What's that guy trying to do? He's going to taxi over the line.
The pilot couldn't see the line, and he severed it neatly as he passed over. It was heartbreaking.
Pilots. Now they're all stranded. What do we do next? Get another line into them. Better call one of the men back first. We don't want to have too many men out there in case we have to leave them.
The order's signaling us, sir. Can you read it? Yes, sir. She wants one of us to come back.
Thomas, and you're the freshest. Think you can make it? Good. Start swimming.
All right, now we need a strong swimmer to get a line to the boat. We don't want to lose anybody, so if you're not a good swimmer, don't volunteer.
I'll go, Mr. Lynch.
Captain, you know what you're getting yourself in for?
Yes, sir.
All right, get him a line.
The rescue operation had now been in progress for almost an hour. All that time, the Harder had held a bow on the reef, and the captain fought to keep her from getting broadside to the pounding waves. The planes were bombing the islands to divert attention and continued to fly in low to scrape the beach. Despite this, however, Jap snipers hidden in the trees kept up a steady fire at both the rescue party and the ship.
Captain, we've just taken Thomason aboard. He's exhausted, but he's all right. Good. How about Logan and Ryan?
Well, they seem to be holding out.
And the pilot?
Thomason says he's passed out. Couldn't tell too much.
I can't reach the boat. Heave, man! Where's the float plane?
Circling off our starboard quarter.
Well, if it gives us any more help, you know what you mean.
I'm Lieutenant John Galvin from Bunker Hill. I can blow to my room. Rescue party's aboard and we're ready to go, Captain!
All back full. Any injuries?
My back and arm. I don't think it's serious, Captain. I hit the tail as I bailed out.
Some bad bruises. I don't think anything is broken.
You and your men did a great job, Captain. Thanks.
Did you ever fly a PBY out of St. Thomas in the Caribbean?
No, sir.
Well, welcome aboard, Galvin. You fellas really plastered the island. The best job I ever saw. I'm glad we're both on the same side.
The rescue of Ensign Galvin by the Harder was termed by Admiral Nimitz one of the outstanding rescue feats accomplished by a submarine. In his patrol report, Sam Dealey wrote, "Too much praise cannot be given to those who effected the rescue of Ensign Galvin. A truly courageous accomplishment. It is a privilege to serve with men such as these." The conduct of Ensign Galvin during and after his ordeal also drew praise from the captain and changed his opinion of pilots. Ensign Galvin volunteered his services and became a working member of the crew. Probably none of the commendations given Sam Dealey meant any more than a message received on the night of April the 12th and 13th.
What's making you so cheerful? I just decoded a message from ComSub PAC. Admiral King has lifted the ban on destroyers. Guess that means we can waste a torpedo if we get a chance.
Waste it? Don't you believe it? A sub could take a Japanese destroyer, and one of these days I'll prove it.
Contact, sir. Heavy screws. Bearing 320 relative.
Captain of the conning tower. Is this going to make the old man happy? It's a destroyer. I'm all alone.
At 18:59 on April 14th, Sam Dealey got his long-awaited crack at an enemy destroyer.
I'm getting a good turn count. About 140 RPMs.
Looks to me like a brand new tin can. He's crossed our bow. Down, scope. That's the way I saw it too, Captain. Make ready 4 tubes forward, 4 tubes aft. Now we'll see.
At a range of 900 yards, he commenced firing. 40 seconds after the first shot, a torpedo was seen to hit the destroyer directly beneath the stack. The target was immediately enveloped in a cloud of black smoke. Just 4 minutes after she was hit, the destroyer went down. No lifeboats could have been launched.
Right full rudder, all ahead full.
Right full rudder, all ahead full. What's that, a plane? Depth charges, the ones they never had a chance to drop. You see, Frank? They just don't float with holes in their bottom.
Expended 4 torpedoes and 1 enemy destroyer. That's how Captain Sam Dealey's dispatch to ComSub PAC read. It was only the first of many that Dealey and the Harter sent to the bottom. By the end of a 6th patrol, they had set a fabulous record. The rescued pilot, Ensign Galvin, soon rejoined his carrier, now wearing the submarine combat insignia, and by the end of the war was credited with 7 Jap planes, 2 probables, and a 5,500-ton transport sunk by skip bombing. The gamble to rescue the downed pilot paid off, but Captain Dealey didn't live to know about it. On her 6th patrol, the Harter was lost with all hands, a gallant and fighting ship whose memory will live forever in the annals of the United States Navy. I'll be back in a moment with our special guest. When the Harter vanished on her 6th patrol, she carried with her an even dozen old hands, plank owners, men who had put her in commission. The others had been previously transferred. We have with us one of those men, Chief Commissary Steward J.W. Thomason of Los Angeles, who played one of the key roles in the rescue operation off Woleai. Nice to have you with us, Mr. Thomason.
Thank you, sir.
Looking back over so many years, what do you remember most about that rescue mission?
It is without any doubt the long swim back to the ship. It was only a few hundred yards, but against the sea and tide, I'd swim a mile, it seemed. Then I'd look up at the Harter, and it wouldn't appear any closer.
You received a decoration for your part in the rescue, didn't you?
Yes, all 3 of us who went into the beach after Ensign Galvin received the Navy Cross.
There are mighty few commissary stewards who are wearing the Navy Cross. Now tell us a little about Commander Dealey.
Well, I was with him on the first 4 patrols, and the general impression of the crew seemed to be he was one of the most daring men they'd ever known. And what I heard later about his 5th patrol, when he was knocking off Japanese destroyers with down-the-throat shots, indicated he hadn't changed much. One thing for sure, when he decided to do something, there wasn't a man on the ship who wouldn't back him up.
I'm sure he felt it, or he would never have tried the daring things he did. Mr. Thomason, I want to congratulate you on a most heroic and humane action. Thank you for being with us.
It was my pleasure.
I hope you will be with us again for another thrilling and true account of the silent service.
Take her down and up in line through the deep blue underneath the ocean. the ocean wide. From down, down underneath the sea. Satan's host will pass the word in the future's yet to be. That will say, as long as there's a submarine or underneath the sea. So rig for dive and take the down, down, go down, down underneath the ocean.